This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. I will share why they are America's #1 meal kit in just a moment, but first, let's talk about a particular phone call that took place in mid-1986. The phone call is taken by Johnny Carson. On the other end of the phone is his lifelong friend Joan Rivers, who is both nervous and excited to tell Johnny that she has been offered her own late-night talk show at Fox. Before she can finish, Johnny hangs up on Joan. Thinking, or maybe better said hoping, that they must have accidentally gotten disconnected, Joan calls Johnny again the next morning, only to have the king of late-night television hang up on her again. The two old friends would never speak again, and for years, Joan really didn't understand why. They had been, after all, very close. When she wasn't filling in for Johnny on The Tonight Show, Joan would often find herself on the other end of the conversation as a guest, and no one could make Johnny laugh like Joan. It had been that way for decades. Johnny had been a critical player in her rise to fame. He had even introduced her to her future husband Edgar. It was for that reason that she had desperately wanted to speak with Johnny prior to any sort of formal announcement being made about her new late-night talk show. Johnny's silent treatment, his verbal banishment of Joan, meant that if they ever crossed paths during the final 19 years of his life, he would just look away and say nothing to her. More than once, Joan tried to initiate a conversation, but Johnny would say nothing. He wanted nothing to do with his former protege. And Joan really couldn't understand the anger. Other comedians who had filled in for Johnny, like David Brenner and George Carlin, had gone off and made their way solo in the world of entertainment. David even hosted his own talk show, for crying out loud. What was it about The Late Show, starring Joan Rivers, that really ticked off Johnny? Why couldn't he be happy for her and celebrate her success with her? Whatever it was, Johnny was done with Joan. I've talked in other videos about Johnny's willingness to ban a person from The Tonight Show, but this was something different. She was effectively banished from his life. Over the years, Joan arrived at her own set of conclusions regarding why he had chosen to do this. And she believed that it had something to do with the fact that she was a woman. She said, "I think he really felt, because I was a woman, that I was just his, and that I wouldn't leave him. I know this sounds warped, but I don't understand otherwise what was going on." Alright folks, quick time out to talk about today's sponsor. I've personally used HelloFresh, and you know what? My wife tells me that I've actually improved my own culinary skills by using this wonderful food service. With HelloFresh, you get fresh ingredients and easy-to-follow recipes delivered right to your doorstep. It's so much fun to see that big box of farm-fresh ingredients arrive on your doorstep. Whenever that happens at the Sundstrom home, the entire family knows that dinners are going to be much tastier for the next few days. So if you want to eat well and save money this year, I can think of no better way than to cut back on going out to eat or ordering takeout and get started with HelloFresh. You'll love how fast, easy, and affordable it is to whip up a really good meal right in your own kitchen. With HelloFresh, all of the ingredients travel from the farm to you in less than 7 days. That is why they call it HelloFresh. Like I said earlier, folks, you can count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That is why it's America's #1 meal kit. To try HelloFresh, just click on the link in the description field of this video for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Now that, my friends, is a good deal. Okay, back to our story.
10 o'clock. Ooh, let's find out what the weather's going to be.
Hold it, Harry! Hold it! My new show is coming on!
Harry, Joan Rivers is talking to you.
But I like the weatherman's puppet, Mr. Sunshine.
Harry, you want to know about the weather? Put your feet out the window. We'll laughs. We've got music. We've got guests. Come on, go to sleep with a smile on your face for a change.
Gee, I don't know. I'm not used to that.
Harry!
Okay, I'll try it.
Oh, thank you, Harry.
You're welcome.
Joe.
The Late Show, coming October 9th on Fox 32 Chicago.
While The Late Show with Joan Rivers started out strong in the ratings, and how could it not with guests like Elton John, Cher, and Pee Wee Herman, over time the show's ratings dwindled to the point that Fox gave Joan the axe. A few years later, she would return to TV with a daytime talk show. but it was clear to one and all that the series of events that had transpired all around the same time as The Late Show, including the death of her husband Edgar, had made Joan much tougher. And let me just say it, a stronger woman as well. She had been hurt and publicly humiliated in ways that she never could have imagined by someone that she thought would be a lifelong friend. Joan's greatest success during her later years was as the host of Fashion Police, a new style program on the E! Entertainment Network that allowed Joan to display all of that sardonic and biting wit that had made her famous throughout the years.
Listen, Hollywood, Fashion Police is going weekly, which means every Friday night I'm going off on what you put on. Whether you show more skin than you can find in my plastic surgeon's trash can, or if you wear something I actually like, just know that I will be watching you, and I am way too old to play nice. Sorry.
And the icing on the cake was that she was able to do much of that show with her daughter Melissa. And years after Johnny's death, Joan made her triumphant return. Yes, she made a triumphant return to The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon on his first night of hosting the program. It was a bittersweet moment for sure, but the audience ate it up, and I have to think that Joan had a pretty darn good laugh about the whole thing afterward. Sadly, Joan is no longer with us. She passed away shortly after her appearance on The Tonight Show. It happened during a routine medical procedure, an endoscopy for heaven's sakes. Joan's daughter Melissa filed a lawsuit shortly afterward, alleging that the doctors performed unauthorized medical procedures as they were caught taking a selfie with the Fashion Police star while she was under anesthesia. It was a true tragedy. I like the line in this article by reporter Leslie Messer. She said the world just got a little less funny. For those folks who admire Joan as well as the work of other pioneer female comedians like Phyllis Diller, I'd recommend checking out The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime. It's a wonderful program that deserves to be seen by more people. Here's a fun picture. Did you know that Joan and Robin Williams were extremely close friends? Until I put together this video, I did not. But it totally makes sense. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Did Johnny react poorly to Joan's call because she was a woman? Or was it something else? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And while you're at it, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Oh, what the heck, maybe even consider subscribing to my channel. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from decades gone by. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Oh, and one more thing. A huge thank you to all those who have clicked on the join button and become channel members. Each one of these individuals identified on this screen are truly appreciated. Thank you so very, very much.